But Suddenly is a hilarious YouTube show starring 5 talented comedians: Adam, Luke, Iolo, Phil, and Burge. In each episode, one of the comedians takes the lead in writing the script, resulting in a unique and unpredictable comedic journey. The show features a mix of improvisation and written material, with the 5 friends bouncing off each other's jokes and comic timing. The result is a wild ride filled with laughter, silly antics, and plenty of unexpected twists. Whether you're a fan of comedy or just looking for a good time, But Suddenly is the show for you. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and join Adam, Luke, Iolo, Phil, and Burge as they take you on a journey of laughter and mayhem in But Suddenly.
Beautiful. Thank you, Robot.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Robert.
Yeah,
Who
thanks.
has
So,
always been here.
he's our special guest. We had a
How
robot.
long
Suddenly
till
listening.
our robot minion is our robot overlord? It's only a matter of time before that thing's running the show, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll be in the script before we know it.
There was some just like
Be right in the script.
charisma, just oozing charisma there. So yeah, he'll replace us all first. It'll just be like 5 of Robot Suddenly's reading scripts.
Just one at a time. Just I won't be here next time. Just be a robot.
He doesn't half drag on though, does he? He can talk. Give him that.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Gets
gets into the weeds a bit. Will.
Turn his volume down, man.
Muted.
Oh,
Try though, isn't it?
man.
But we're here for the silly antics and unexpected twists.
I mean, he's got us pegged. He's got us pegged.
The talented comedians bit or the good time.
All of it. Just all of it.
We'll have to speak to his creator. He seems to know what he was doing.
A note for the robot. Don't think he needed to list our names twice.
Yeah.
Damn it, Robot Suddenly.
Robot Birch.
How about join the guys? Yeah. Join the crew.
You can conflate it a bit.
Gentle
be a bit
sirs.
punchier.
Yeah, some notes for future.
Charisma, maybe.
Good job, robot. Good job.
Good job, Robot. We love you, Robot, but suddenly, Robot.
Sit, boo boo, sit.
Another note, maybe. Could talk about the actual show. I mean, gave literally.
Why would you talk about this show?
So a bit vague.
Yeah, why talk
generic.
about one show when you can talk about all shows?
Yeah.
In the multiverse.
We should probably elaborate on the show further, but I feel like we're doing the robot a disservice by doing that.
I mean, I think laughter and mayhem is all you need to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the subtitle.
We just do scripts and carry them on, and
We are really far into this process.
We're quite far into it. Do we need a recap? Does Luke, do you need to do a sound effect?
Yeah. Oh, I think we do.
We all need a recap.
Luke Williams, do a sound effect me, please. That was a sound effect.
It was.
You didn't specify.
I was so scared you were gonna. As
I'm
soon as I
really-
said the word sound effect, you were gonna put your voice mod on. I was like, if he does it, there's gonna be a blowout on stream.
Again. I think the one thing
I'll save it for the final act. I'll save it for the final act.
100%.
and a bit of tension. Something to
You
look forward
don't know what you've done.
to. The one thing
So
the
we're in
robot
the
got right
chateau.
is the comedians take turns in writing the scripts. So that's kind of where we are. It's Adam's turn, isn't it? Episode
Yeah,
21.
We're still in the chateau. We took a bit of a deviation from the utter mania that it was.
Or are we?
Ooh.
We are.
See, already twists and turns. So we have a cast of characters, a gaggle of characters. We have a murder of a robot. In the last episode, we had.
But suddenly we'll hate you.
Trigger warning for our
He's
host.
very
Stay on the
sensitive to these
dot rate.
topics.
There's been more murder. The murder victim was found out to be a robot. There is a tough, no-nonsense detective on the case, who dislikes robots, who in the last episode suffered a blow to the head, which caused some form of amnesia. Couldn't remember the last 48 hours. Funnily enough, the victim, the first victim,
I really
lost.
identify with this character, with this 48-hour amnesia. I don't remember what happened last episode.
Lots of random stuff, but fundamentally we came to a head with a sort of like a classic lights turned off, some sounds, because there was a confrontation because the citizens of the manor were using the fact that the head detective had some form of head injury or / memory wipe to leave, and the initial murdered robot's husband protested, and that's where we ended up, I think. Lots of characters, lots of names. You won't really necessarily, I don't think, need to sort of like know each and every single one, but we all do silly voices, which hopefully distinguishes them enough. And that's it.
Anything you want to add to that, Adam, as the
Pretty good.
as the author of today's episode? Anything you think we need to remember going in?
The only thing I guess I would say is I apologise for the
Big words
for
from
you-
the croque
for this-
monsieur.
use of your time.
I am sufficiently scared.
I love it.
Um,
I love it.
right.
Is it singing?
No, there's no singing. So I guess a couple of notes from a reading point of view. So I've recast my parts for this, so I'm not in it.
Not Cyril.
At all? You
But
were
what?
sick as Cyril.
And I felt bad. I almost went for it,
Oh, you should have.
but then I kind of thought, because I love Cyril, so I didn't want to just write the Cyril show basically, and just it'd be me. So
Who's Cyril? Can we ask that ahead of time, or do we have to wait? Is that going to be a mystery in the script?
it's not a mystery in the script. You'll see fairly soon, I guess. I can tell you now if you want, but basically, it's. I mean, and I guess I would say that that's not been done on any kind of like merit or like reputational system.
You've earned a
Yeah, it was like I found this quite difficult to like sort of balance out the number of lines and stuff like that between you all. Which is why I then kind of gave Cyril to one of you, because there was a few like less lines there and stuff like that. So, yeah, some of you do a lot of talking like all the way through, and then some of you kind of have quite big chunks of talking, but not as frequently. That's probably the best way of doing it. So, if you're not talking very often, that means that you will get lots of talking.
You got a
at some
monologue
point.
coming up.
Yeah.
Hark!
Act 2 soliloquy.
Yeah, exactly. It's the big emotional. Yeah.
As long as it's
So,
not
yeah,
all in
I've-
French.
I've tried to balance it, but it's potentially still a bit skewed. But yeah,
It's always part of
we'll
the
see.
challenge, isn't it? Really, it's not just about trying to put a script together.
Yeah.
It's kind of
What if the audience clamours for OG Cyril? What if there's a full-on rebellion because nobody can live up to the awesomeness of original OG?
I mean, I feel like you've got to ration it, haven't you? You've got to.
I'm just secretly
Keep
hoping,
it on
because
ice.
I recast Marcel as Phil. I'm just hoping that just stayed, because I enjoyed Phil's Australian so much. You know, sort of like chill out and like not do Australian anymore. It's great.
No, you're Marcel again. You're straight back to Marcel. You're.
Shit. Need to find another means of not being Marcel. Cool.
Have you got an Aussie voice mod?
Ooh.
Oh, it's called Kylie
5. Nope.
Very nice.
Wow. Anyway, should we? Oh, bloody hell, close things. Should we go straight to it?
Yeah. One final question for our author. How much did you feel like you were trying to go back into the previous scripts and piece it together, or how much were you just kind of just jumping into it? And
Quite a lot, actually. So I really struggled with this one. I think it doesn't help that it's been paced out over quite a long time. So this is very much a product of what happens when you write about 5 lines every few days for 3 weeks. So that, yeah, and it was hard. Like, I think because we've naturally come to this like chateau thing and it's quite constrained, and we've like tried to put that on ourselves. I don't know. I struggled with that a little bit, rather than just being like, just do
yeah,
anything.
it's tricky, isn't it? I think we're increasingly making like a complex jigsaw that's kind of.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be
Are
hard.
you trying
Yes,
to say
I-
that we venture out into the jardin today?
we no, we don't.
Sacre bleu!
So yeah, I did read the previous ones, like watch the last episode and stuff like that, and I've tried to kind of go back and pull little kind of threads from here and there.
Cool.
But then, Who knows how this is going to go? If I'm honest, we'll find out.
Oh, well, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be
Transition.
I was listening. Sorry. Yeah, transition. Luke.
No. Make your point.
There we go. We can do that. That's fine, Phil. I was literally, funnily enough, thinking about this today about how difficult it'll be to finish this. We are happy to coast and like throw little clues out there, but then there'll be a point where we'll be like, oh no, we have to finish this.
Yeah. Yeah, very conscious of that. And this is very much, I think you said the same thing last time out, Iolo. This is very much like I've just moved it on a little tiny bit.
Like, nudging it. Like, it's literally like,
that could be something later on for somebody. That could be something for somebody later on. And it's just, yeah.
Is it a complete Cyril dream sequence?
Yeah, it's all Cyril. I've taken an episode of 40 Towers and it's just me doing that.
Love it. I would 100% be in for that. It is literally like writing hot potato though, because literally just like I'll let that person deal with that thing, I'll let that person deal with that thing, and then it'll be like 3 episodes down the line and you have to deal with it and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, I really struggle with it, but we'll see.
Well, it'll be fun. Right, let's go.
Let's do it. Okay, but suddenly episode 21, Double or Bust, written by moi. Previously on But Suddenly.
Must feel bloody awful. Here I am, my husband just having been fucking murdered, and I had the gall to forget the plight of the fucking toffs.
God forbid we inconvenience you.
Well, it's just, you're not exactly human, are you? And we've...
Places to be? How very convenient.
George rises from his chair, carrying Roger with him. He walks in front of the group, blocking the exit.
One of you lot is behind all this. Of that I'm sure. One of you took it upon yourself to kill him. Robot or not, your intent was to murder my dear husband.
You tell him, George.
Thanks, hun. You had no idea he was a robot. What drew you to kill him, God only knows, but I'll bloody find out. Of that I guarantee you. And here's another guarantee.
George turns to look on the front door. Bodes well. Bodes well.
Turns the lock on the front door.
Just focus.
As long as I'm alive, none of you lot will leave this place.
George is cut off by the lights in the drawing room turning off, plunging the room into darkness. We hear the sounds of a scuffle, followed by a loud thud. When the lights turn back on, the group looks around, slightly startled. Nothing seems to have happened. It appears a classic Bunn anticlimax has occurred. However, George suddenly lets out a scousely shriek. Roger's head lies on the floor by his feet. Roger comes to, blinking up at his husband, somewhat dazed. Relief washes over George's face.
Bloody hell.
I dropped you. I'm so sorry, and I can't believe it. Oh, God, I thought I'd...
I'm okay, love. Don't worry about it.
But I dropped you, Roger. What kind of husband am I, eh?
Honestly, it's fine. It's just one of God knows how many things we're going to have to get used to if this is going to work. But it will work, George. We love each other. We can still have this life together you always dreamed of. Now pick me up, you Liverpudlian love puppy.
Well, we're off to a bloody good start, aren't we?
The pair chuckle lovingly as George picks up Roger's head and nuzzles it against his own. We hear them kissing and breathing heavily. The wider group still stares on, puzzled and a little grossed out.
Struth.
What the hell was that?
I know, quite revolting. He's Frenching a severed head.
Beryl sips her large glass of red nonchalantly. The Townsend shoot her an angry look.
I know that. The lights, Beryl. What happened?
Oh, who can say, my dear boy? You know the old chateau, full of eccentricities, isn't she? No harm done, though, I'd wager. False alarm, eh?
Excellent, Birch. Excellent.
Yeah, very good.
Well done.
I'm not so sure. That felt ominous.
Glad it was okay after the high praise in the intro. It's like big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill.
Oh, it's
I
good.
want to be the person that he's allocated Cyril to.
No pressure.
What are you parlaying about, Robert? We're all here, present and correct. No great dramatique denouement. Everything is bon, old chap.
You're probably right, Cyril. His bloody threats didn't help matters. I'm just starting to get a feeling. And you know what that usually means.
Crikey. Means you're in for a bally good night, I'd say.
The pair laugh, but suddenly the lights drop again, plunging the room into complete darkness once more. Another scouse scream, another scuffle, and another thud.
Ah, Christ. George, pick up your husband. Cyril, best call Les Electrician, I'd say.
No, not erection.
Can't switch between
Definitely
those.
not erection. I was massively looking forward to the Scottish accent trying to do the French bit. I thought that was going to be
Yeah,
great, and it was great. There's a moment's silence in the darkness without response.
We're fine and dandy, thank you very much. Not us this time. We were busy.
Oh, I made it up for you. Cyril, where are you? Stop mucking now. Stop mucking about now, lad.
We hear further bumping in the darkness, presumably as Robert fumbles around the room.
Where are you hiding, lad? Monique? Marcel? Are you near him?
Sorry, mate. Couldn't tell a pouch hole from an asshole over here.
It is.
Perfect Australian.
It is.
Okay.
Too dark, Cyril. Cyril, where are you? Shall we? Wait, sorry, that's Monique. Oh, God. Monique was yellow. It's hard to bounce between actual French and fake French. I think I've overplayed it already, but we can move on.
It was good.
Can somebody get the
George.
bloody light switch?
No, voila. I have found it.
Lovely. There's a click and the lights go up, momentarily dazzling the room's occupants. Monique lets out a piercing Cockney scream. Beryl lies slumped back in an armchair. A creamy, bubbling froth oozes from her open mouth. Her thick glasses magnify the frozen look of horror in her eyes. Cyril is nowhere to be seen.
Crikey.
Excellent. Cut to interior Roger's room, night. A full amateur sleuthing is afoot. Lucy's head pops out of the wardrobe doors while Brad holds a tape measure up its height. Bruce is halfway underneath the bed, legs poking out like a mechanic. Andy peers out of the room's window. The driver stands over the decapitated robo-body on the bed, surveying the scene.
So I make that to be 60, 62 and 4 inches.
So if the killer was waiting in the closet...
They'd have to be real short.
Lucy and Brad high-five like a pair of bloody Americans. There's a hint of the driver shaking her head upon hearing this. Bruce slides out from under the bed and hauls his huge frame up from the floor.
It's tighter than a diller's asshole under there. Not a chance.
So the killer wasn't waiting in the closet or under the bed. How in the heck did they get in here?
Come on, guys. Work the problem. There's got to be something we missed. Maybe if we take a look at this window from the outside, something might jump out at us. It's only a second story, after all. Wouldn't take much to climb up, I bet.
The Americans nod in agreement. The driver is about to respond when they hear Monique's piercing scream from downstairs. The Americans look positively buzzing.
Wow, this thing's really picking up quickly.
Well, quit your lollygagging and move it. I want to see some gets.
The Americans rush out of the room, bursting with excitement. The driver remains for a moment, peering at the empty room inquisitively.
Might jump out at us.
The driver leaves and follows the boisterous group down the hall. Cut to interior chateau hallway, night. The Americans arrive downstairs, positively bouncing, just as Robert closes the door to the drawing room behind him. Monique, Florence, Marcel, and George Townsend hover alongside him, looking pale-faced.
Ah, shit. I forgot about these buggers.
You got another clue for us in there? The night's really hotting up.
Yeah, we heard the scream. What's next, Chief? Show me some guts.
I think we need to wait a memento for Master Luke. You're on mute, mate.
I'll be just a minute. Someone just take over for me for a minute.
Okay. I was going to say me, but I don't want to do Scottish.
Not so fast, laddie. It's not quite ready for you yet.
Easy, Bono.
Jump straight
You
in.
got us all excited with the scream, and now you're not ready?
That's right. You caught us off guard with how fast you figured out where it came from.
We told you we were no amateurs. Plus, we have her.
Andy motions to the driver, who is eyeing Robert suspiciously.
So tell us, who's the victim?
Monique begins to sob quietly, comforted by Marcel.
Top marks for the dramatics, guys. Really top-notch work.
We'll make sure we mention that in our review of the place. So immersive. Where's Cyril? I want to tell him how well things are going.
Monique's sobs grow louder.
He is gone. Gone to make final preparations for your weekend. He's out in the garden.
It gets fairly Robert intensive from this point forward. So I don't know whether we should sort of hold for a second.
Yeah, maybe.
Like-
Should we go back to Robot? See what Robot's got to say about things?
Checking with Rob.
Do like time for a word from our sponsors and the
I know. Yeah.
5% off NordVPN.
Bye. Raid Shadow Legends. Now we're back.
And we're back.
We're back. So
We don't have a cast of characters in this.
yeah,
love
it's
them
good
all,
little
though.
some good little
It's nice to have like because like what we did with the original like thing is we had loads like we had characters that we all loved and stuff, and we like split them all off, so like we were in different timelines, prehistoric timelines, and all sorts of crazy things. So you'd have like scenes where it was Ellie and what was the my name character's name, and Ted. We had those three that were like together. And then we had like yeah, that's it. And then we had I've forgotten everything about it. Skimp. Arduous and Skimp, like in
I
the
was
section.
skip here.
But like in this one, it feels like because we're such in a confined space, you have like everyone together, and it's quite nice.
And you can bounce different characters off each other and kind of split them up and then bring them back, and it's quite cool.
You got element of an ensemble comedy to it. I do think that the general idea of murder mystery, but the victim is a robot who can actually communicate as well is inherently hilarious. That is fucking brilliant. That like would make a show in and of itself. I also think that the idea of a murder mystery, a genuine murder happening when a murder mystery is meant to be going on, and like enthusiastic Americans trying to solve it, is inherently funny as well. I do think that's really like sort of funny. That could be a show in and of itself.
Sort of a classic setup, isn't it? It's
It's classic.
Yeah, because it's got the actual murder elements that you haven't kind of put off as something that could be happening in the story for the Americans. Let's keep them off the trail.
Sort of like sitcom farce kind of.
Yeah.
It is.
That's good. Good little setup.
It's funny. It's funny how quickly the original cast are like all in on kind of putting off the Americans as well. Like I love that they're all just immediately like, gone to make final preparations. He's in the garden like that. That's so funny.
It's I mean it's something that we can relate to because I mean, you know, if you were in a chateau with Americans, would you want to pawn them off as well? we've all like, you know, met Americans.
We could get people, Americans streaming the show.
Yeah, plenty of Americans watch YouTube.
I'm
very welcome.
Oh my god,
75% of our audience. And this is for you, my friends.
Who else can I hate on?
French.
I think they've checked out of this a good while ago.
Well, even after my accent.
They are butchering our language.
The Scottish, pissed off the Scottish.
Yeah. The French were like, exterior, rural France. All right, see you later.
Oh wow.
So where are we up to in the story then? What's because I often find it hard to track the story.
Well, I mean, I agree.
Just focusing on your individual lines. So
this should be a new feature. We should stop like partway through. We just check in, like an ad break.
Love it. Like an intermission. So we've lights have gone off twice. The second time,
so we had the big dramatic cliffhanger of Yola's, which I tried to just do like a bit of a double bluff gag about, sidestep that.
That's good.
And
then severed head kissing, and then then the actual lights out. Same noises again. Beryl is dead, and Cyril is missing. Yeah,
glad Beryl's dead because I don't think we ever knew what to do with that character.
I liked Beryl.
Just like,
I quite liked. She's like a straight man to a certain degree. When I was writing it last week, I was like, it's good that Beryl's there because Beryl can be like the kind of like the when everyone else is like, yes, let's pretend that this murder is fake so that the Americans and blah 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 blah. Beryl can be like the reluctant one, and so it's quite handy. But yeah, poor Beryl. We've got like two other.
I'm with
shows
Burge,
that we can
entirely with Burge. I was like, I need somebody to kill Beryl.
Beryl.
Who's there? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Beryl.
We've got Betty Gardner who we can whip out if we need another sort of like
and the beiges, of course.
The beiges, yeah,
Beiges,
still.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beiges.
Beryl, is that? Yeah, that was Bainbridge, wasn't it? Beryl Bainbridge, is that
Beryl
right?
Yeah.
Bainbridge, yeah.
Beryl Bainbridge.
Slaughtered
Nan.
before her time, old man. So she's dead, and the Americans are still sniffing around trying to do what they perceive to be a murder mystery weekend.
Well, here's a thing that I picked up on. Oh, it's disappeared from mine. But little line at the end there with the driver was interesting. Although it might just be I'm scrolling too far. It might just be like something that I'm missing there. But it says might jump out at us. Is that something that is like kind of like her sort of figuring something out?
Yeah. So I guess two things with that. Yes, I think that's her sort of mulling things over. And second, about a week and a half ago when I came back to sort of write this, I was scrolling back, completely forgot about that line. I just thought, that line's in there. I wonder what that means. Forgot I'd written it. So yeah.
Is it like a joke about the wardrobe? Like might jump out at us?
No, I think when I wrote it, I think it was her sort of come up with some kind of theory or that kind of stuff. Like like in Jonathan Creek when somebody like says something or he sees something, he'll say like a random line, and then Caroline Quentin will be like, "What?" and he's like, "Nothing." And
yeah,
that kind of that was kind of like that. Like
kind of like a fancy thing, like never before, and then you're like, "Oh, he's figured something out."
Yeah.
But for Lucas just text me, he is not coming back.
Okay.
So we are to resume without him apparently. Philip.
We're just at the bottom of page 7.
Thank you very much.
Cool. So
that's a solid 15 pages to go.
So if I take perhaps to Robert, is there anyone I can give up, or I don't mind? I can.
I suppose
roll with
there's a driver, isn't there as well?
Oh, the driver. So someone can do the driver.
I'll do the driver because honestly, she's not in it very much. So
cool.
I'll do the driver. And then let's just see how we style it out.
Cool. So where were we? So
should we go from gone to make final preparations just so that we can like have a bit of a line before?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gone to make final preparations from page 7.
Oh no, Luke
he's gone.
Gone
left.
to make. That is a nightmare.
Oh no.
Luke Williams, what are you doing to me?
Technical difficulties.
I'll go here.
Oh, well.
Bring back the robot.
Robot, quick! I will full on. I wish I could replace Luke's one with the robot. That would make my life. And everyone's paused. No, you're back now.
I seem to be frozen. I'm frozen.
Oh my god. This is
let's do that. We're fine.
There we go. Burge is paused as well. Is he?
Yeah.
I never know with Burge.
Yeah. No.
Oh, he is. He's not now.
And then Phil, you guys are all like skew if Luke Williams. He literally told me on the text as well that he'd keep it on, and then he's not.
What's he said? Just gotta go.
He said,
publicly broadcast the reason why.
Yeah. I'm not going to publicize the reason why, but he's not here now, so that's it. That's all you get to know. Until off stream, where I will tell you everything in sordid details. Philip, there you are.
Found me.
Okay,
so while we wait, Phil, why don't you
I could do this, actually.
sort of talk us through Luke's back.
Luke's back?
Luke's what, sorry?
He's just put his camera back.
Oh, that's fucking broken everything in mine again now.
Which is...
Luke, if you're there, you can just disclose it. You'll be good.
Oh my god. Okay, robots on the screen for now. Just whilst I try and sort things out. So
Technical difficulties, music.
I will fill. I'm gonna just like ramp as robot. And now I've lost robot voice. Yeah, I'm gonna. So hey guys, this is just having some technical difficulties here. Human error, as they call it. Am I right?
I'm gonna get ChatGPT to come up with some robot jokes.
Please do. Please save me. This is my literal nightmare. So I think it is just Phil. You guys are back in place, except for Adam, who's replaced with Luke now because he came back. Oh, and Phil's lost sound, has he? Or is that just me? Oh my god, what's going on? Is it me?
I think Luke muted us all.
Yep. Okay, we'll
You
see.
can just unmute yourself.
There we go. Yeah, I can do it. Found the button.
Jesus Christ.
There we go. No.
This is
So,
scandalous.
Quite.
am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
This is
You
just
are indeed.
Quite ominous.
causing
Yeah.
chaos.
Just
Yes.
The dark
Starting
screen.
to leave
and then
halfway
just
through.
one by one, we each get muted.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
I know.
Robot jokes.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Why don't you
yeah.
just sort of very delicately talk us through how to make a French baguette, Phil?
No. It's you want a high hydration.
Luke,
slow
stop.
food,
Whatever you're doing, please stop. Just
end up with a nice,
turn
nice
your volume on your
crunchy
PC down.
crust and a soft,
Still on
light,
mute, you're
airy crumb.
Me, I'm still on mute. Or do I have to unmute myself?
You're mute on Skype.
Oh, why?
There you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had to do that. Sorry. I was just telling Luke, please, whatever you're doing, Luke, stop. It's causing me undue nightmares. Right, Adam, where are you related to Luke? No. This is my nightmare.
Right, I'm going to throw some gags in the drive for you, Iolo.
Thank you very much.
Courtesy of our robot friends.
Thank you very much.
Will you be able to cut out this and then post it as a video?
Yeah, I will be. I will.
Yeah, I can
why
edit
does it disappear?
on YouTube.
Right, so this is a friggin' nightmare. Should we stop down and restream? Stop
Just throw
stream,
up like the hold screen, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's already on the whole screen, so that robot on the right is what everyone sees. I'm a robot. Do do do. Hit me some jokes, Phil. I'll start reading them.
So I put them on the text, the same text as before, the intro text. So.
Okay, cool. Oh, I've not got it.
If you just reload the intro document.
The intro document. Oh, okay, cool, perfect. Why did the robot cross the road to get to the other side of the circuitry? Wow,
It's really bad. It's really horrendous.
that's
But this is a robot joke, so gotta trust him.
Let's just fix the stream.
yeah, please, 100%. Just fix the script.
Spend the time doing that.
Feel like a multitask.
I cannot multitask. Phil, can you read the jokes? Vamp, guys, vamp. I am having a horrendous time here.
Okay, I'm going to read them in normal voice, though, but I think my favourite is, what do you call a robot that's fallen on hard times? Down and automatic. That's the best of them.
Wow.
Spectrum is on autumn.
How does a robot feel after a long day at work? Absolutely exhausted. Same as a joke.
That's just a statement.
Why do robots always tell the truth? Because lying would go against their programming.
Oh.
And
That
what do you call a
has like
robot?
an element of self-doubt to it. It's a bit scary. That one.
What do you call a robot that takes over the world? An all-conquering automaton.
Facts.
And just to go over Yolla's again. Why did the robot cross the road? To get to the other side of the circuitry.
Perfect. Right.
Doesn't even make sense.
It's like a bit of pun on the word street.
Sort of like anti-humor, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's great.
See them whip up any more since they'll be in full on call.
Can you read out the one about the all cock?
This one, the down and out automatic.
What do you call the robot who? What was it?
Takes over
the world.
What do you call the robot that takes over the world? An all-conquering automaton.
Fantastic. It's a good one. It's good because it almost makes you think that you don't understand it. It's like there's something I'm missing here, and it makes you feel stupid. Yeah, you sort of initially go like, "Oh yeah." Good one, robot.
Tell me some AI robot gags. We'll go with gags. See if that gets its juices flowing. Sure, here are a few AI robot gags. Why did the AI robot break up with his girlfriend? Because it thought it could do better.
They just had incompatible personalities, and he thought he was wasting his life, so he thought he could do that. Basically. Fucking hell.
Sorry, guys, almost there.
That's all right. Got
All right.
four more gags to get through.
Yeah, we'll do this instead now. It's a good show. You as robot can tell these jokes, and then we can just sort of respond to them. That'd be great.
There we go. I'm done.
Oh, well, I'll have to save them for next week then.
Sorry, guys.
This one's actually pretty good. What do you get when you cross an AI robot and a famous musician? A Robo Beethoven. No? Anyone?
We've had some jokes in the chat.
There's a pun in there. We have some in the chat.
We've had some jokes in the chat. Yeah. So, what is a robot's favorite food?
Microchips. Love it.
Oh, that's ace. That's
You line them up, Adam. I'll knock them down.
Okay. Why did the robot cross the road?
Because it was processed by a chicken. I like that's much better.
It's good. It's good.
Oh,
That's a joke.
Humans are better at robot jokes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne.
Did it burn? Any relation?
It's just a coincidence.
Any spans?
I think. So, there's a lot of us about.
Right. Back to it, guys.
Well,
Fucking
thanks
hell.
for your patience.
Unless you're watching this, you're watching this tomorrow, in which case, just let's carry on.
It's gone.
Yeah.
All clap,
Yeah.
so I know an
What?
edit point.
What
Nothing
happened?
to see it.
What do you mean?
Anyway, I need to get going, so
Don't you fucking dare.
Okay, right.
Take it from the top.
let's
Gone
blast-
to make final
let's do
preparations
this.
for your weekend. Let's go.
OC group, that one, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've gone to make final preparations for your weekend. He's out in the garden.
The OG group look at Robert, somewhat confused.
Hasn't he, gang? The old boy is so dedicated. Wants to make sure everything goes perfectly. He's just in there now, finishing up. Won't be long.
you just said he was in the garden. Which is it? Details matter in cases like this.
Did I? Oh, he's, busy. Oh, wow, look at the time. Why don't you all head to the bar while you wait? Monique, would you do the honours?
Marcel and Florence nod hesitantly. Monique doesn't look up from her grimy white maid's apron, which she's using as a handkerchief to blot the streaming mascara on her cheeks.
Monique! Bird, can you do Monique? I'll stick with Florence.
Monsieur. shit French, Monique, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Monique leaves sullenly, motioning the Americans to accompany her down the hallway. They reluctantly follow.
Mind telling us what that was all about, mate? What are we didgeridoo doing keeping up this act?
Hey.
Nailed it.
Proud of that one. Proud of that one. Robert remains quiet, clearly deep in thought.
He is right, Roberts. Where is the Monsieur Basingstoke? Il a disparu. A burial.
Exactly. This is bloody serious, mate. Someone's actually died this time. A real person.
George is about to get offended, but suddenly moves forward and begins to open the door frantically.
Oh my God, Roger, I've left him in there.
Pardon?
My husband. Just in all the commotion. I must have put him down and forgot.
The comment snaps Robert out of his thoughts and he eyes George suspiciously.
Yeah, what? After all your little speeches in there, some fine start indeed. I've got both of my eyes on you, George Townsend.
Robert motions into the room, allowing George to enter. Cut to interior chateau drawing room. Continuous. George enters with Robert immediately behind him, watching closely. George quickly glances around the room, avoiding the gore of Beryl's corpse at the table.
Get him out, quick. Oi, you bastard. I'm up here.
George turns to see Roger's head on top of the large fireplace facing the wall.
Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry. How could I?
Again, taking the bloody piss.
George runs over and retrieves Roger from the fireplace.
Again, I know.
Out, now.
George scurries out of the drawing room, murmuring to Roger's head as he goes. Robert takes a look around the room, pausing on Beryl's contorted face for a moment before closing the door on the room. We linger and close in on a small bookcase in the corner. Several busts act as bookends across the shelves. I'll take Luke's in this bit.
Cool.
Well, I say.
Quite the tragedy.
A flagrancy of logic indeed.
I'm talking about that Florence. Remarkable, well-bred woman. I'd like to diarise her, if you catch my meaning.
You might want to just tone that down a smidge. just a note.
A lot of dialogue.
A lot of peeps.
Okay.
Peeps guffaws. The group groans.
I'm not usually one to be I'm not usually one to be turned by European fancies, but I wouldn't mind sailing her channel.
Hast thou no shame, Peeps?
All empirical evidence points to the conclusion, my dear William. One can only draw a single evaluation.
There is truly no wretch as ungentlemanly as you, Samuel. Yours is a temperament so truly unbecoming as to render you utterly devoid of merit.
Oh, Jane, when will we drop this pointless charade between us and give in to the inevitable?
That is quite enough from you, Samuel. We have talked much on this before. Women are not merely a pastime, a folly. You must show some respect, otherwise tragedy may befall us once more.
Charles's eyes motion off the bookcase where we see the shattered pieces of another bust. The small plaque reads Emily Bronte.
Oh, can it, Charlie? That wasn't my fault. All I said was she should crack a smile or it might never happen. I didn't know how she'd take it so personally, did I? Bloody goths. Can't say anything these days, can you?
Now you listen here.
How's your mate over there, anyway? Dickens.
Peeps motions to an as yet unheard bust further down the shelf and laughs once more. Va te faire foutre.
Lovely.
That was all just a dick and balls gag, really. All that for a dick and balls gag. Cut to interior chateau bar night.
Highbrow.
I apologise, guys. The bar is softly lit by a dying fire and the small lamps on a handful of circular tables. A classic, gaudy 1950s style jukebox takes pride of place against one wall just next to the bar itself. Claude and Clarence, the hotel chefs, sit in the large armchairs by the fire, an open bottle of whiskey between them. Claude is asleep. Clarence is mid-flow.
Any recollection of the voice?
Just your voice. I think
it was
Just my voice.
I think Clarence is from just south of Stockport.
This is how committed he was, right? You know that scene when they're chasing down the hobbits, yeah? And the horse bloke has told them they burned all the survivors. Then when they get there, he goes, "Ah," when he kicks that helmet, doesn't he, right? Well, this is how committed he was, right? He really kicked that helmet so hard that he only went and broke his toe, didn't he? And Peter Jackson's gone, "Wow, what a take. Let's use that in the bloody film." And you know what? He only bloody did, didn't he? Eh? Can you believe that, Claude?
Claude barely stirs in the armchair.
I said, can you believe that, Claude? Eh? Claude? 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 Claude?
Just let old Claudie sleep, eh?
But what about this one, Claude, right?
Thankfully, Clarence is cut off mid-sentence by the door swinging open and our guests spilling into the bar, led by Bruce chomping on a cigar.
I'm telling you, it has to be an inside job. It's one of the staff. Guaranteed.
I'm not so sure. Feels too obvious here. Nothing about this case feels that traditional. I mean, the first victim was a robot, for Pete's sake.
I don't give a rattlesnake's taint if it was the Easter Bunny. Remote mystery setup is always the staff. Apples is apples. It was probably these guys.
Bruce motions to the sedate Claude and Clarence in their armchairs.
Casually waiting for us to question them as they were ushered to the bar. Come on.
I don't know. They seem pretty out of it. Wouldn't they have been introduced to us already?
All right. The maid, then. Those crocodile tears ain't fooling me.
Monique enters, still distraught and consoled by Marcel. They head straight to the bar and pour drinks.
Or there's that saucy Italian.
He winks at Florence as she files past, furious.
Dante reverse cretin.
Please remember, we're trying not to offend the locals, Bruce.
And then there's...
The Townsends enter, Roger's head close to George's ear, deep in hushed conversation. Robert is close behind, flanked by the driver, who lingers at the door with the Americans.
Weren't there more earlier on? I'm sure there were more.
There were. The Beiges went to bed a while ago. Then there was... She checks her notes, a small pad from her jacket pocket. Ah, yes, one Hetty Gardner. I do believe she's only spoken a single line all evening, but hasn't been seen in some time. Very suspicious. I also understand there are other guests in the building. Whether we meet them or not later, who knows? But something fishy is afoot at the Chateau de la Rouge Poisson. Fishy indeed.
Spoken like a true detective.
But what? Oh, no, just a fan. Like you guys, getting caught up in the atmos, I guess. So silly. The driver backs away from the Americans, seemingly embarrassed. Robert steps forward to the centre of the room, which quietens around him.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all agree the night is really starting to hot up.
Marcel, Monique and Florence shoot him a glare. Robert tries his best to ignore them.
And that's just the way we like it here. Things are just getting started and we're relying on you, our most esteemed detectives, to sort this one out, to crack the case wide open.
The Americans cheer and holler Americanly, bubbling with excitement.
Yes, freedom! I'm going to offend the Americans.
That's nice, right? Not heard that one before. Anyway, soon we'll be splitting you up into small groups to search various areas of the house in isolation. Like in Scooby-Doo? Yes, almost exactly like Scooby-Doo.
Oh, I love Scooby-Doo.
What will we be looking for? The handyman dressed up as a cliche ghost?
Robert laughs nervously. The OG group's frustration is visibly rising.
Yeah, mate. What will we be looking for?
This is getting out of hand now, monsieur. We should just tell them that Cyril, our dear host and friend, is missing.
Well done, Phil. There is a collective dramatic gasp in the room. Monique wails.
Oh, mon Dieu.
You're yanking me fucking tail. That was weird.
Great twist.
I'm losing myself.
Fucking-
I'm losing my mind. Scouse and Australian is just merging in my brain.
Fucking tail.
What a wild fucking tail.
Great twist. And Burge.
Bruce.
So you got this right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bruce.
and great acting again from these guys. Really bringing their A game tonight. Kudos.
Indeed. Never a dull moment here. So as I was saying, Cyril Basinson, owner and proprietor of this fine chateau, has vanished from right under our noses. And with the investigation of Mr. Townsend,
Does that mean murder?
incidents already in full swing, this is all the more suspicious. One can only assume these two incidents are connected as part of some yet unrevealed but fiendish plot.
There's a flash of lightning and a giant clap of thunder. The group jumps. Rain begins to lash at the windows. It's all very dramatic in a cliche kind of way.
This reminds me of when they were filming Weathertop. That was Vigo's very first day on set, you know. Can you believe that? And Vigo said,
We'll be assigning your group soon. Please help yourself to a drink in the meantime. Compliments of the chateau, of course.
Okay, now. Robert motions to the bar. The Americans giddily head over to the glass cabinet. Marcel and Florence head to Robert. Monique remains in a chair, quietly sniffling into a well-used tissue. The driver sits at her own table between the two parties.
You've got some bloody explaining to do, mate.
What is happening, Robert? Why are you saying these things? Madame Bainbridge is dead. Cyril is missing. And you're treating like some sort of, like some great pantomime. Pantomime.
Exactly.
Pantomime. I'll take my first reading, please.
Exactly. You bloody flip, mate. You couldn't wait to get out of here not so long ago. Now you look like a bloody TV presenter. What's going on?
Shh, keep your voices down. Come here. I've got something to show you.
Robert ushers Florence and Marcel to a dark corner of the room, likely to tell them important plot points. The driver scooches her chair over to Monique's table and places a hand on her shoulder, somewhat gratuitously. Exciting all this, isn't it? Can't wait to find out what else happens tonight.
What about?
The murder mystery, of course.
What? Oh, that. We're past that now, love. Too much has gone on.
I know. It's all coming together, isn't it? And you're wonderful, if you don't mind me saying so. Really talented. And that accent.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. How is your head, madame?
Oh, you don't need to keep it up on my account. You deserve a break. And the head's fine, thank you. So any tips or insider knowledge? I am injured after all. Might need the extra help against all these Americans.
Well, like I said, we're past that now, love. This is... I can't do the accent.
Yeah.
This is serious. Something terrible is happening. First Mr. Townsend, and now...
You have to go like full nasal to do it. It's really funny. It's great. It's so good. And now Cyril vanishing into thin air. I know. Such a great twist. So much work must have gone into pulling it off. Did you see anything?
Nothing. It was pitch black. It all happened so quickly. 1 second he was there talking to Robert, and then it went dark.
And when the lights came back on?
He was gone. The poor barrel was...
Monique breaks down once again. The driver looks satisfied and pats Monique on the shoulder. There, Monica. If you'll excuse me, just need to make a call. The driver gets up and quietly leaves the bar. Cut 2, interior chateau hallway, continuous.
So
The driver paces the hallway, phone to ear. We hear a call dialing and then a click as it's answered by a familiar, serpenty voice.
Is it done?
I hadn't anticipated having to take part in this. Not yet. There's been a complication.
You know I don't care for complications.
Someone else is in play here.
Excuse me? Can I finish?
I'm sorry.
Can I finish?
Yeah, of course. Go.
Can I please finish? Okay, I'm finished.
Someone else is in the mix. Don't know who yet. It's going to take a little longer than originally planned.
And do they suspect anything?
No, I pulled the classic amnesia bit. They actually asked me how many fingers they were holding up. I mean...
Just like Sicily. Excellent. I love that. That line is
That was literally like, what place would be great in this accent?
Perfect.
And there's one more thing. Bainbridge is dead.
Interesting. Very interesting. This changes things. I think reinforcements will be necessary. I'll dispatch them at once. Expect them by morning.
No, you don't need to do that. I got this. I've got this. This one's mine. The driver waits a slightly annoyingly lengthy period of time for the laughing to subside and the call to cancel. This is my case. Okay, Beryl, let's see what you've got to say for yourself. The driver heads to the door of the drawing room and quietly slips inside. Cut 2. Chateau drawing room continuous. The room is pitch black as the driver enters, closing the door behind her. She pulls out a mini torch from her jacket pocket and clicks it on, emitting a small beam of light. The driver slowly scans the room. The beam of light passes by the table, and the driver approaches to examine a half-drunk wine glass still in place in front of an empty chair. She kneels to examine the lipstick mark on the rim of the glass and notices a strange residue on the table beside it. Suddenly, she's startled by a noise behind her. She swings around in time for the torchlight to capture a hooded figure charging at her. A violent struggle is lit only by the jerking of a torchlight, highlighting flailing limbs and heaving bodies. We hear glass breaking and chairs being knocked aside, and then silence. The torch lies on the table, rocking slightly as it shines a spotlight on the small bookcase in the corner.
Saturday, 28th of January. Dined in Whitehall for a breakfast of kippers with Mr. Parker and Captain Cuttons. Parker remarked on the waitress, a pale, ghostly girl who was not without appeal if one were so inclined. I declared she rather smelled like goose fat, a remark which my fellows heartily enjoyed. She did not take kindly to this commentary, however, and we were swiftly asked to vacate the premises. I of course refrained from unveiling to my company the previous dalliances I had enjoyed with this waif. Dalliances which were of the most carnal nature, and in which my prowess was matched only by the feminine pestering that followed.
Wouldst thou give thine tongue a pause, Peeps?
Following a somewhat pleasant taking of the morning air along the Thames, I attended luncheon with Sir Reginald Barton. We discussed a great many matters of utmost state importance over a delightful concoction of beef and potatoes. I offered my particular insight into all of the subjects raised to great thanks, naturally. The meal and wine was pleasant, and I gave my gratitude to the chef. Upon hearing of my compliments, the chef did appear before us, and much to my surprise was of a shapely feminine nature. We exchanged many pleasantries, and she was, of course, impressed by my linguistic nature. We agreed to meet for drinks the following night. Oh, Mr. Pepys.
Samuel, tragedy has befallen in front of our very eyes. We must look to act in all haste.
That night I visited the Westminster Theatre, some ramshackle production of no note. Naturally, the actresses attended to my needs in the most.
By the gods, man!
I demand peace whilst I journal the day's events.
These are naught but flights of fancy, Samuel. I fear your mind is becoming truly lost.
You may visit my shelf and help me locate whatever you wish, Miss Austen. Until then, I shall have peace while I journal. The play was a torrid affair, of course, but the after-party, well now.
The window beside the bookcase is opened by a shadowed figure, unrecognisable in the dark room. The rain lashes in and a gust of wind pushes the window into the bookcase, knocking the Samuel Pepys bust to the floor with a loud crash. A group of tiny cheers are also potentially heard. The figure panics at the sudden noise and quickly scrambles out of the window, just as the door to the drawing room is flung open.
Nice.
Very well
Enjoyed
done,
that. That's really good.
Very well done.
Samuel Pepys was brilliant. It's really good, man.
Yeah, well done,
enjoyed it.
Burge. That was
Yeah.
that was a lot.
It's beautifully written, man. That was cool. I enjoyed,
Very well,
I enjoyed
yeah.
his journaling. And there's a couple of little one-liners in there as well. Quite witty. It's good.
I haven't
I
done
mean,
that much literary research since uni, really.
Straight
How
back
does
into
Samuel
it.
Pepys write? And how could I make him into an absolute dickhead?
Okay,
it was
I
good.
really
It was
like
good.
it.
I like the description as well of the tussle beforehand as well.
Yeah, it's quite clever.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the in the dark sort of thing. It was cool. Really well read under trying circumstances. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well done, Phil, with the accent bouncers.
quite enjoyed that actually. It's good. Not done a Scottish for a while.
Yeah,
But I think it worked quite well actually with the divvied up the roles quite nicely. I think we all had enough to be getting on with, didn't we? So it was everyone stepped up. It's good.
Yeah, we did very well. That was excellent, mate. Very well done.
Thank you.
I enjoyed all the intrigue and stuff. The snake boss. I had like half almost brought him back in mine. And I thought, no, I'll leave him for now. That's a later episode. And then, no,
I was like, I do not want to do snake voice again. And you guys like, oh, he's coming back.
I just love it. I just love this snake. The snake laugh is just
to laugh,
fantastic.
yeah.
Sicily, just like Sicily.
Laughs. That was your line, wasn't it, Birds? Laugh serpently.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. I was like,
So I just remember, I think
like,
when you first did it, you did this weird like hand movement as well, which I enjoyed. So I was like,
I do remember Birds like
great.
when he was first introduced. Birds was like, and that's it. That's the end of that character. And I was like, no, it won't be. Oh, no, it won't be.
No, it's good use because we've had like the paintings talking before, haven't we? So it's good use of
I
like
do love that.
talking art.
It's the one fun thing. I feel like, like it's really. I found it difficult to think of one. But it was so much fun to like break up because they, like a lot of the times, especially when you're like focusing on a murder and stuff, you go in from scene to scene, and you don't want the scene following the scene to be the same scene, so you want something to cut into, and that is just like the perfect thing to cut it, like to splice in there to like, add something else, like a little bit of a break. It's ace. I love it.
But yeah,
Really
I like the idea
that's
that
so
the art could be like somehow helping with the mystery as well, because obviously I've seen everything, aren't they? They kind of have a presence.
Because I think the first one with the portrait of Cyril's old family, they were actually like surmising it to a certain extent. They were like sort of like trying to figure out who done it themselves.
Yeah, and they were asking the fox or something, weren't they? And the fox couldn't remember anything.
I think they'd seen Beryl going up the stairs at night or something, so they were like, that was my like raising suspicion on Beryl. It's not Beryl.
But it was.
Dead.
She's dead.
She's dead.
She's not dead.
That's very intriguing. I'm interested to see what the driver's like goal is, because it felt like that phone call with like the snake wasn't so much a solve the murder thing as it was like something else possibly. So it could be.
I've always wondered that with the sort of especially with the voice overseeing things and kind of planting instructions and stuff.
And the fact that Robert was keeping the ruse going, even though like everyone else was now kind of like not as enthusiastic about doing it because like a genuine murder had occurred. So like, that Robert's up to something.
Exactly. I think that was essentially what I kind of left it with, I suppose, and in another way couldn't be asked thinking of what to do with. So this idea that Robert is bizarrely quick to kind of keep up this like weird ruse of
help with the
keeping the thing going for some reason. And then what's the driver doing? What's the motive there? Because she's like fake this amnesia thing, and there's some kind of dodgy thing. Set up this idea that more people are going to show up at some point. A few little bits like that, which I kind of thought, well, they'll be potentially fun for somebody to play around with later on. Then.
I thoroughly enjoy writing it. I have to say, it's like I feel like it's a more difficult write, because with the last one, you just was like, I'm gonna take it fucking anywhere I want. But like now, it's like a bit more like, the constraint I think leads to better writing, but it's a lot more difficult to do. 100%.
I think we've just witnessed how that's not the case.
No, 100%. That was ace, mate. That was really, really good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
I enjoyed parts of it. I like, the statue things I really enjoyed. I genuinely enjoyed the statue things.
I could tell you really enjoyed them. They were excellently done. I really liked them. Like over the course of 2 scenes, literally, like they get like the most character in the world. It was ace. Yeah. It was really, really good. Really
spent far more time doing that than I did any of the rest of
it. We're just gonna have like one season just be like, oops, all asides, where we just literally like cut from bus gags talking to like and then ornaments on a table.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, for it.
And then just as bizarrely like Clarence just being some kind of like Lord of the Rings.
I love that.
Came out of nowhere. That was wild.
Old
just
Clancy,
a Vigo super fan.
Old Clancy didn't land as I thought it would, because Old Clancy was killer last time. And
Old Claudie.
Old Claudie, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I saw it. That was kind of like part the whole setup, really. So I just wanted to bring about what was hilarious last time of Old Claudie.
Old Claudie, wow, was so funny.
Just refers to himself as Old Claudie.
Old Claudie. Oh, it's fun. So, moving forward, just so that the audience knows, we've set ourselves a limit so this doesn't go on forever, and we've introduced a million clues. That we're gonna finish it in 4 more episodes. There's 4 of us here now,
4 more episodes, so we 4 are going to do it. I thought we'd have this discussion now. Whereas, Spinner God needs to be satiated, so we have to do it through Spinner somehow. But do we do it because we had a vague plan of either picking who goes next and leave it at that, Spinner God chooses who goes next, or alternatively, we Spinner God it for it all, and we literally like establish an order of operations up until the end, so that the person is somewhat aware that he's ending it. So that he can maybe vaguely make plans of how to end it. What would you prefer to do? Would you prefer to just pick the next one and leave it up to chaos as who does the last 3, or would you prefer to know? Okay, I'm the one after the next one, so I can then like set up the very last one, so that that you're kind of like leading it to a point.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of that.
I find doing that. I guess it's still the challenge, though, isn't it? Like if I found out I was going third, I still know I've got 2 people who could do completely anything to get to mine. I still can't plan anything.
I suppose you don't necessarily want. Yeah, that's tricky.
I guess the obvious question: does anybody have an inkling to go last? Does anybody actually want to wrap it up? Has anyone got an idea? Again, it's like someone can have an idea and it could just be completely fruitless.
We can talk this through a bit. So obviously we don't want to spoil anything for the audience, but ideas I've had that are very, very vague is Claude and Clarence has clearly done something, right? But I quite like the idea that the thing that they did wasn't the murder. So I had an idea that
thought process.
Like they'd done some form of heist that the audience is kind of led to believe is like.
I wasn't going to go for heist.
No, like, not like a heist, but like maybe like they're like robbing jewels or doing something untoward.
The jewels are in the soup. At the bottom of the soup.
I was like, use slightly out of date cheese or something like that. That was sort of my mindset went to.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the fact that there's a robot in the thing as well has to be sort of like called upon. Like our robots.
I think we shouldn't.
No,
I think we shouldn't discuss it.
Okay.
No, you're right.
I don't think we should discuss it. I think
that's right.
It's got to be yeah.
So should we just pick?
Are we sticking to the Spinner?
Just
Oh,
the
yeah,
next week
Spinner.
now.
I mean, Spinner's there.
And is Adam included then? Is that? And also how we're distinguishing between the Adams. And I don't know how you feel about.
God, that's a good show. I should change that to Bruges. Bruges.
Yeah. And then is Adam happy to get on the Spinner or?
I feel like it's only fair if it lands on Adam to spin again.
Okay.
But in that instance, why would we have Adam on it in the first place?
Unless Adam chooses if it lands on him.
Ooh.
That's cool. No, I like that. That's like power. Although like Spinner God might not be happy, but screw him sometimes. We've satiated Spinner God enough. Shall I spin? I'll just spin because it might not be necessary.
Yeah.
Spin.
Do it.
Oh God, that's let's fill it.
Oh, wait. Still going. It's me.
You have been chosen by Spinner God.
Oh, cool. I'm happy with that, actually, yeah.
We can leave it at that, and then we'll just leave it as is. Because I suppose the thing is by knowing you have an ending, maybe you can prepare things. But as Adam said, like the last but one person could start setting up someone else, and you're like, oh, my plans were completely for moot, realistically.
Yeah, if they kill off the murderer, the murderer.
Yeah, that's true. I might in my little spare time, because I did the character help sheet. I might try and accumulate clue help sheet. But that's just for us, so that we can have obviously there's going to be red herrings and things that we're not going to cover. There's going to be plot holes, definitely. But at least there's a set of clues that you can then go okay, that and that I could solve by doing this, and that'll make things slightly easier. But
put them in the YouTube description as well, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's good. So I'll do that.
I
can put the clues.
Just if anyone's coming to an episode, they can see what was set up in.
Yeah, makes sense. That's a good shout.
I'll try and write it more cohesively then. I was going to write something with a dog, but no, I'll do that. That's fine. So I'll try and accumulate all the clues, and I'll put them all in the YouTube description for the next one. And I suppose we'll call it there. Sorry for the disruptions.
No, thanks for sticking with us. And
thanks for sticking with us. Yeah. Just
Not just today, for 21 episodes. I think is-
100%, yeah. And thank you, Robot Suddenly. You really helped us out there for a little bit. Your jokes are
Yeah.
terrible, but you know.
Well, some of them.
But that's it. Should we call it there?